Okay, looks like we are live on Facebook now. I want to say good evening to everyone and anyone who's joining us tonight as audience, listening um, and supporting our poets this evening. This is our 1 year anniversary of Rhyme and Lime, our monthly poetry jam from here on St. John. And yeah, it's been a crazy year and interesting. I never would have thought that I would host a virtual event because I'm not really good with technology. This, as many of you know, this event started at Bajo El Sol Gallery in Cruz Bay, St. John. And at this point now, I think we have had more virtual events than in-person events. So yeah, I think we had our last one in March, and then it's been virtual ever since. But I'm so thankful for the community, the support, and all of our poets who've come and joined consistently, even when the platform wasn't as comfortable as it was the in-person, intimate environment at the gallery. But I've really enjoyed the past year with all of you and the poetry that you've shared. And I know so many people in the community look forward to the Rhyme and Limes and listening to the poetry as well. So thank you to the poets and to our community and audience here in the Virgin Islands and afar. And thanks for joining us tonight for our 1 year anniversary on this, what is it, All Hallows Eve with a blue moon and an election coming up. So the energy is pretty, I don't know, it's a lot of energy in the air for sure. So always nice to have this poetic relief. I am going to introduce our poets this evening. We have a handful of wonderful people joining us, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your poetry this evening. So first up, we have, let me pull up my cheat sheet here. So we have Miss Pamela New. Pamela's joined us for a lot of our Rhyme and Limes. She's born in the UK and raised in South Africa, moved to St. Thomas just in time for Hurricane Marilyn. The islands invite reincarnations. Pamela co-raised island-born twins, has run a non-profit arts company working with kids with special needs, led after-school programs, taught communication and theater at UVI, directed theater camps for Pistarkle, and is now heading up Eco Schools USVI, working with educators and students to introduce environmental sustainability into our USVI schools. She lost most of her poems and other writings in Irma, but keeps putting ideas down on paper as they come to her, with less talent and skill than the intention for process and release. Please welcome Pamela New.
Good evening, everyone. Hi. I haven't been writing that much, but you know, Jamaica is a great persuader. So I knocked something out a couple of days ago, and then actually followed up with a very non-me poem today, which is very rhymey, which is what I don't do. But the first one is called Subtropical Snow Globe. I feel like I'm stuck in a snow globe, occasionally picked up and given a good shake, but most often dust blanketed at the back of an odds and ends drawer. My character? What? An elf? A cat? A red cardinal glued on its perch, frozen in animation, as the glitter suspended in glycerin gently slow-mo twirls its way back to the base. Yes, stuck in this bubble of both externally imposed hiatus, self-doubt, and second-guessing, I work on being present in this not asked for, now all of our lives on hold world. But it is my greatest concern my dread, my face-clenched fear that this curtailed island life is becoming too easily comfortable, that my adventurous, on-the-move, take-a-risk, jump on a plane with no planned self is becoming reduced by this bubble, this perspex shell, requiring only shallow breaths and by rote living. I need to find a new way to draw outside the lines. So that's the first one. And then, and then the second one, I think writing the first poem enabled the second one. I actually write a gratitude journal almost every day, just as a matter of discipline. But I decided to put something down on paper about it. And this is just called, Thank Goodness, a COVID-19 gratitude list. Thank goodness for rescued dogs, for fire circles and sitting on logs, for rainy days and starry nights, for jack-o'-lanterns and Christmas lights, for WhatsApp, Zoom to keep in touch, telling aging parents we love them so much, for pelican, thrashy, frigate, quit, humming, tropic bird, flight and song, for new days and putting up a good fight, for fictive kin and sister souls, for guacamole, veggie curry and hummus bowls, for breathing in and breathing out, for laughter and sometimes to shout, for tall trees to hug and empty beaches to walk, for frogs and crickets, cacophony, and ants moving mountains, it seems to me, for young adult kids with new brave ideas, watching them navigate this time of fears, spending moments to love and discuss, treasuring borrowed time of them still with us, for spouse and home and love and dogs. Thank goodness for rescue dogs. And that's it.
Thank you. You just wrote that today? Wow, I love it. That's wonderful. Thank you. And I love the snow globe one as well. I can't help but picture, I really connected to it because, just frozen in time, kind of seeing myself third person through everything that's happened the past year. That's how I kind of interpreted it. Thank you, Pamela. Thanks for joining us. I know you weren't planning on it, but thank you. And I just want to say I see David and Dara are here, so thank you for joining us. Up next, we have Kayden. And Kayden, for those of you who don't know, Kayden Corbett Richards is 22 years old, born on St. Thomas, raised in St. John. He is the great-grandson of Neptune Richards, who was born here on St. John in 1899. His appreciation for animals and nature trickled down to his son, Alva Richards, Kayden's grandfather, who then unknowingly passed that down to Kayden. Kayden purchased his first digital camera in 2017 and has been shooting since, with his main focus being nature and animals. Please welcome Kayden for the first time ever to Rhyme and Lines. So thank you for joining us, Kayden.
Hi, good night. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So this poem was more of like just thoughts that I was thinking, and I call it Shadow. Or more the anxious, or more the frustrated, stuck in a spot, ignoring the shadows. With light, there are shadows, but in the darkness, they aren't. How can you ignore shadows in the darkness? You can't. With light comes shadows. So you have to be aware of the shadows when moving towards the light. They can't be ignored, or you will always end up in darkness. Embrace your shadow, because it brings the light. That's it.
I like it. You can't ignore the shadows in the darkness. It's a nice line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have
And I
one
also
more.
liked your other poem, which, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You want me to say that one or just do anything?
Yeah, yeah, no, please. You can share more than one.
Okay. Okay. I call this one trauma. I hold the trauma in my eyes. Don't be surprised. If I look at you with a blank stare, don't be scared. This is more than me being weird. This is pain. We are alchemists. We flip pain into passion. If you let if you look like us, you don't have time to be relaxing, especially in the tourism industry. They're gonna milk me until I can't be milked anymore. This is a means to an end. Without an end, I'll meet my end at an early age. I'm here right now to acquire enough funds to invest in myself. For now, I shall tap dance.
That's powerful.
Thank you, thank you,
Beautiful. What's the name of that one?
Call it trauma.
Trauma. Beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much for joining us, Kayden. I hope you make a habit of it.
Okay,
Come join us next month.
thank you.
All right, up next we have Mr. Thomas Lynch. And let me see, I have a little short bio for Mr. Lynch, for those of you who don't know him. So Thomas Lynch is an essayist, poet, and funeral director. He's written 4 critically acclaimed volumes of poetry, 3 award-winning volumes of essays, and a book of short fiction, and possibly more, because this might be an outdated bio. So by using his own daily routine as poetic fodder, Lynch has transformed the mundane task of preparing the dead into a life-affirming event. Please welcome Thomas Lynch.
Thanks, Jamaica. And thanks, Kayden and Pamela. Those were mighty poems. Kayden, I especially hope you keep coming back, because if I could have done what you're after doing when I was 22, I wouldn't feel such the old fart that I do now. So anyway, I have 2 poems. And congratulations, Jamaica. To keep anything going for a year is a wonderful thing. And I'm glad David's here, because I know that he and Priscilla housed the enterprise. That's where I met you, and so I'm very grateful to be up here in northern Michigan and still connected to St. John's by this zooming technology through the pestilence. I hope to get back there when it's safe for you folks to have the likes of me back there. But in the meantime, I'd like to read 2 poems. We have an election. I wish you all could vote in it this time. Maybe soon you'll be a state, or at least you'll have some senators or a vote or something. And but anyway, years ago, I thought of this because Barack Obama was here with Joe Biden in Michigan all day today. He made 3 or 4 stops in Flint and Detroit and other places in southeastern lower Michigan. And it reminds you of what a president is like, what a real president is like, and how much we miss that sort of dignity and decency. And before he was elected, I believed that George W. Bush was the worst president of my lifetime.
So did I.
He looks like a Rhodes Scholar compared to, the narcissist in chief. But anyway, some of you know I have a small house in Ireland that's on a farm on the West Coast. I inherited it from my 4 cousins, as we say, and it's taught me more than anything I know. So this is a poem called Dear Mr. President. The black cow we put inside for Mrs. Murray to inseminate got its head stuck in a metal gate and couldn't get it out. What was she thinking, we said to each other. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Maybe it swelled some after she forced it through. Still, we couldn't get it out, though we kicked with our boots, twisted it every which way, cursed, swore, shouted, prayed. Nothing worked. The thing was stuck, and we were stuck with it. How could we go back to our lives with that beast out there, its fat head caught in the gate? We couldn't go to church or the movies or to the store. What would we say when folks asked, how are things, as they do? In the end, we had to get a saw, one of those big round yokes that makes an awful noise and cuts through anything. After everything, we just cut it out. It was that simple, Mr. President. We just cut it out. One clean cut at the corner, bent it open until she pulled her thick head out and stood there looking like cows do, you know, blameless, serviceable, and dull, just in time for the bull, which comes in a suitcase now, says Mrs. Murray, the inseminator, wearing a blue rubber glove all the way up to her shoulder, pushing deep inside of that beast, all the while looking up into the high roof joists of the shed where swallows were nesting. The look on her face, Mrs. Murray's, was, I have to tell you, Mr. President, so sublime, so beautiful. We said there is a science to everything. And one more poem, but before that, one commercial for a book that came to me this week, and it's been my constant companion ever since. This anthology, 250 years of African American poetry. It includes West Indians. So I'm just, Kevin Young, I met when he was teaching at Emory University. I think he's the editor of the New Yorker now. I'm not sure. He just goes from strength to strength. But this is a very, very powerful anthology, and I recommend it to everybody. And then I'll finish with a new poem that just wrote, I think, at the beginning of October, and as we're at the end of it now. Some of you will remember that I travel with a young assistant. Her name is Corinne, and she's still my assistant. She brings me groceries. I don't have to go to grocery store. She, she cooks turkey soup if I cook a turkey. And anyway, she's a great assistant to me. And this poem was occasioned by the fact that the day before the first killing frost came to Michigan this year, she had the good sense to go out and save the basil that I had planted there. Actually, she had planted in my kitchen garden. So she came in with these fronds of very beautiful leafy basil, and she held them up. And I think it's Waterhouse who painted in the 18th century a painting called Susanna and the Pot of Basil or something, but it reminded me of that, the way she was looking at this basil. And so I wrote this poem. And it's called Corinne Among the Fronds of Basil. And it tries to pay a little attention to the losses that we have endured this summer. And Corinne Among the Fronds of Basil. The leafy basil from the garden fills the kitchen with a whiff of summer's losses and frames the figure of a prepossessing girl among these fronds saved from the coming frost. She adds pine nuts and olive oil, shredded Parmesan, fine crushed bulbs of garlic pressed into a greeny pesto, boils pasta, as if the sky weren't actually falling. Hell and high water in one dire week, the bottoms falling out of everything, 200,000 dead of pestilence, my long lost daughter Heather lost for keeps, halfway through a leap year, taking her leap into the beckoning embrace of an abyss, desperate for good riddance, cold release. We got her home, alas, to let her go again. And good John Lewis gone to his reward, who stood upright on Black Lives Matter Plaza. No justice, no peace, our marching anthem, to see him crossing Edmund Pettus Bridge, bludgeoned, horizontal, and victorious. And word will come tonight of RBG, notorious for justice and dissent, equality of genders, loves and sexes, against all poverties and contagions. Corinne upholds these end of summer leave with gratitude against begrudgeries. That's it. Thanks again, Jamaica.
Thank you, Tom. I had the pleasure of meeting Corinne, so I really enjoyed the poem and highlighting her. So hopefully we get to meet her again soon. And thanks for the recommendation of that book. Looks like a keeper. Yeah, awesome. All right, so we have up next Miss Starry. Starry, if you want to turn on your video, so okay, good, you're there. Let me just get my little bio up for you. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Starry is from Greenville, South Carolina. She attended Berea College in Kentucky, where she earned a bachelor's in African American Studies and Theater. She is a teaching artist, which means that she goes into schools and facilitates poetry workshops with students. This is a little bit of an old bio, so she can update you on what she's been doing since, but I know she worked at the Gift Hill School in St. John, here on St. John, and she serves others through the written word and performance art, and that's her passion. So Starry is no longer on St. John. We were sad to see her go, but this is the first time she's joining us virtually since the last time she joined us in person at the gallery. So please welcome the wonderful Starry Walker.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen your face, Jamaica. And I am, okay, so what do I want to start with? So first of all, I am nowhere near prepared because because something always comes up like at this time. So and today we had a fundraiser. My mom had a fundraiser for our family. So so all day up until this point, that's what I've been doing. So I was able to escape to my room. But I didn't get to prepare today anything, but I wanted to share this. I have a book that I want to share, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but it's called The Artist's Way, and it is a course for artists that have creative blocks. So if you're having difficult writing, you feel like you're not reaching the level that you want to reach, this course helps you to work through that. And it takes about 3 months, I think, to work through this whole book. And you have a new chapter every week. And here's the journal that goes with it. But you can also use your own journal. You don't have to have this, but this was a gift to me from one of my mentors. So I've been doing, this is what I've been doing. I've been working through this so that I can improve my writing and go to the next level. And I've been attending workshops and working with other artists on projects. And yeah, so I did have a poem, but I can't read it because my handwriting is crazy. So I'm gonna try to suffer through it. This is literally like the first just drafted thoughts, but I'm gonna try to read as much of it as I can. Before I do that, I'm gonna call on Lucille Clifton, a poet that I think of as my poetry grandmother, and I'm gonna read her poem, I Am Accused of Tending to the Past. I am accused of tending to the past as if I made it, as if I sculpted it with my own hands. I did not. This past was waiting for me when I came, a monstrous, unnamed baby. and I, with my mother's itch, took it to breast and named it history. She is more human now, learning languages every day, remembering faces, names, and dates. When she is strong enough to travel on her own, beware, she will. So that's Lucille Clifton's poem,
Beautiful.
Tree Ancestor. So I'm gonna try to read this poem. And it's okay, so let's see if I can get through. Okay, so the color of my shoulders do not match the rest of my mocha skin tone. They are the color of ripe grapes in a California vineyard used to make a fine red. I whine and I weep and I cry out to my God. What did I do to deserve this heavy burden bag that sits on my shoulders? Labeled punishment, a heavy weight it is. The bag is filled with lead balls. Each lead ball has a trauma engraved. I cry out to my God and he never answers. Or maybe I never listen. But what could my perfect little innocent body have done to deserve to be invaded and pillaged by someone that should have protected me? And ever since, I've only had my tears to comfort me. So I've been weeping. And I cry out to my God, what did I do to deserve this? To have the words bitch and slut thrown at my heart like daggers, slicing through my innocence, teaching me that to be girl is to be a burden, is to be bullied and defenseless, taught that to be girl is to have your voice taken from you and locked up, to have the key buried deep inside of you, deep inside a deep ocean within yourself. So I cry, hoping to fill myself up, hoping that the key will reach the surface and spill out. What did I do to deserve this? To have someone larger than life hover over me and threaten to take my last breath? Don't I deserve to just exist? I have so much weight on my shoulders. I cannot stand up tall. I cannot feel safe and secure. Okay, that's, yeah, I can't read the rest of it, but that is, I cannot read this. But yeah, and it's because my first draft handwriting is horrible. I'm sure I have some kind of poem in my head that I could share, but I want to say before that, thank you, Jamaica. This is the anniversary, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so thank you for starting this and having this vision. I'm so grateful to have attended these open mics while I was on St. John. It reminded me of home. And I want to say thank you, and I hope you keep going. And I hope that this grows into, I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Right About Now or Button Poetry, but you all are amazing and has the potential to grow into those large, those large platforms. And I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Starry, and I thank you for sharing that poem. It was incredibly moving and powerful, even though hard to read, but you never fail to bring tears to my eyes. It's like a given with you. So yeah, thank you. And maybe when you get it written up, you can share it again with the full, smooth recitation. But yeah, I love your poetry, and I hope that I know your plans probably changed. I know you had plans to travel the world, I thought, when you left St. John.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not happening. But I do have, I don't know if anyone on here follows me on Facebook, but I have events coming up. They are the virtual events. So I'll post about those.
Great.
Bringing on some platforms. So
yeah, I'll definitely follow that. Thank you, Starry. All right. Okay, up next we have David Knight, and I will properly introduce him. One moment. So, yes, as many of you know, David Knight has been one of the biggest supporters of Rhyme and Lime from the beginning, encouraging me to host the Rhyme and Lime event at his and his wife's gallery, the art gallery, Bajo El Sol in Cruz Bay, St. John. Yeah, kind of made this all possible and has steadily attended almost every single one of the Rhyme and Lime events and shared his poetry with us. David Knight is a writer, editor, and curator who grew up on the island of St. John and St. Thomas. He worked as an editor and reporter for the Virgin Islands Source newspaper. His writing has also appeared in the Caribbean Review of Books, Arc Magazine, Caribbean Beat, and the Caribbean Writer, among other places. He is the founding editor of the literary journal Mako, which publishes fiction, poetry, essays, and visual art that reflect a Caribbean heritage or experience. He's done a lot, and most recently, his poetry was published in the journal, which I'm forgetting the name of, but I will let him, let me see, give me 1 second, and I will pull it up. Yes, in volume 3 of the journal Forgotten Lands. So please welcome David Knight.
Can you hear me, Jamaica? Am I on?
Yes, you're on now.
Okay. Thanks. Good night, everybody. Jamaica, happy anniversary to Rhyme and Lime. Wonderful to have completed this full year. And it's great to see some Rhyme and Lime heavyweights on the room here. Your faces that I wish were here with me at the gallery, because that's where I am right now, as usual. But I hope to see you guys all here. Both those of you who are here in the islands and those who are afar. We'd love to have you back and have you come and share with us again. One of the disadvantages of doing this so long, Jamaica, is I can't remember what I've read.
And what you haven't.
So forgive me if I've read this one before, but I don't think I have. So I picked out a poem called Heretics to read tonight. If you are lucky, you will have heretical teachers who insist that truth and falsity are border cities, intertwined physically and spiritually in a growing network of interaction. They'll insist, your teachers, that solitary villages, illegitimate, with no contact with the metropolis, are savagely repressed, even as new ones spring up with tiled roofs, stubby towers, in an atmosphere of extreme freedom. There, the illiterate settlers do perpetual battle with the existing arrangement. You find the highest ground in those recalcitrant villages, away from the is and the is not, amidst the hanging gardens of bananas and breadfruit, cascading staircases of rock and earth, the odor of burning wood and leather. Enter and observe the light on their narrow roads, falling in fat droplets the density of honey, laying in the dust. Watch how passerbys look like cave paintings of bands revolt against the world, rare portraits of Babylon burning, flickering light reflected in palm wine, stoic enthusiasts of self-struggle. Even here, small losses are unavoidable. Man's dignity gets twisted in its own limitations, but at least you will find no temples, no altars or statues. Law, justice, religion, long since reduced to texts written on wax. So let your striking hammer fall on such torturous questions and forget Aristotle's grotesque fox-like muzzle.
I love that one. And you have not read it before. I would remember it. I really like that one. And it's called Heretics, yeah?
Correct.
Lovely. Thank you. Thanks for joining, as always, and bringing Bajo into the rhyme and line a little bit. Yeah, I do want to thank, again, this is on our 1-year anniversary, thank you and Priscilla for all the support and for the space and just always being there and supporting me in the event and you just being the wonderful people that you are. So thank you. And I know you guys miss having the rhyme and limes just as much as everyone else does in person. So that is the light at the end of the tunnel. Someday we will get there, get back to the gallery and have our in-person sessions again. So that's something to look forward to. Thanks, David. And this evening we have Iyaba Ibo Mandingo joining us. And Iyaba, if you don't mind, I'm going to actually jump in and I would prefer not to end the night on my poem. So if you have time, I'm going to go ahead and recite my poem. Good. Okay. And then you'll be up next. So as not sure if everyone's familiar, but October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is the last day of the month. I haven't been able to take part in any of the kind of demonstrations this month or support any of the events in person, but I did want to share this poem, which I wrote a little while back. And I want to preface it by saying that it could be a poem about my personal experience, but it could be about your sister, it could be about your mother, it could be about your neighbor, it could be about your friend. So yeah, I would just say, you never know what people are going through, and this is kind of my poem for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And it's called The First Time. The first time he hits you, smack, you're in shock. You realize you haven't been hit since you were a child. There must be a reason. He was stressed, he was drunk. You shouldn't have said that. Maybe he's never done this before. Maybe this is his first time too. Maybe. You rationalize, you justify all the reasons why. This time, it's okay. He's sorry, he loves you, he'd do anything for you. Okay, but never again, you say. The next time, it's a push, hard, slam against the wall. You're afraid to get up, so you stay down, sobbing through it all. Somehow, he convinces you it's your fault. You were acting crazy, out of place. You both drank too much. It's a haze. The next day, things are blurry. He makes you breakfast in bed. He says he's sorry. Things got out of hand. You understand. You must understand. Perhaps the alcohol made us both crazy, you think. Perhaps we shouldn't drink. Yes, it's not him. It was the drinks. Years go by and you're not the same. A shadow, a shell, he's taken your flame. A callus has grown around your pain. Friends tell you this is insane, questioning how can you stay, until they finally give up and stay away. It's been too many times now and you're ashamed, but now you have a child with his last name. He no longer needs to use his strength to get what he wants. He uses words and tricks that fuck you up until you're sure you're mad. It's hard to tell what's real anymore. All you know is you love that child and he's the dad. So you can't walk out that door. The last time he makes you cry, he comes home raving drunk, wakes you and the baby up. He has that look in his eyes. You know trouble is coming. It's no longer a surprise. He's pulling your child from your arms, calling you all sorts of names, And this time when he hits you, something awakens inside and you realize this time is the last time. This is the end. In the morning, you will call a helpline, a long-lost friend. Take only your child and leave everything else behind. So that is my poem. Thank you. And it looks like we have, let me see. There you are. Dara's connecting. And Dara, once you're up, let me just make sure your audio is working because you were kind of in and out before. Dara, are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm connected, so I'll keep listening. Thank you. Beautiful poem.
Okay, thank you. Are you going to share a poem tonight?
No, I'm gonna sit back. Let
Okay.
brother go up next and wrap it up for us.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So up next we have Iyaba, and I will give a brief introduction. Iyaba Ibo Mandingo is a poet, painter, writer, and playwright. He is a native of Antigua, West Indies, who came to the United States in 1980 as a young boy. His earliest exposures to the arts were through his mother, a professional singer, and his grandparents, a tailor and seamstress, who first introduced him to colors and patterns, paving a path to his many ways of expression, drawing, painting, sculpting, writing, and performing. I've had the pleasure of meeting Iyaba a couple times in both St. Thomas and St. John when he was here performing, and it is an honor to have him with us on our first anniversary of Rhyme and Line. So please welcome Iyaba Mandingo.
Mute. What's up, you guys? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Congratulations on the 1 year anniversary of Rhyme and Line.
Thank you.
Hopefully next year I'll be there and live with you guys. I got a new book I'm working on called Seasoned Rice, and it will definitely be ready by then.
Wonderful.
Poem. I'll just read in maybe two of them. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So here we go. Antiguan. Wake up this morning feeling Antiguan. In the Caribbean, if a word is repeated the second time, it's a punctuation. More than usual. More than go supermarket, go buy force-ripe mango. More than Jamaican patty from under heated lamp at Spanish bodega down the block. More than a spliff, a head food, usual. This morning, me feel like me want to go on my yard terrated. Tell America, hold your mother's cunt and go about my business. Cha. Make one kite out to the immigration tribulation, stick them down with clam and cherry, turkleberry, and fly away. Strip off this too long winter, stand up naked in the Caribbean Sea, and make Gimme Ya baptize me again like before when liquor seawater and piece of aloe could cure everything, anything, every time, anytime. Remember tropical me, great grandson of fisherman, swallow liquor seawater, listen till the waves become my baba's laugh, echoing off the cobalt sky, pull trade winds breeze into my lungs till they fill and brim over purple, like the stains of a beach grape against the purple-black skin of an island boy running along the pink sand who woke up this morning feeling Antiguan.
Could definitely feel the nostalgia in that poem.
Cool. And I had some haikus lined up, but I always think that we should honor women in this case, acknowledging domestic violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is called Black Woman. She shines orange, yellow like a tomorrow sun, bright with possibilities, female by choice. Voice of a million mouths, wide shoulders to hold up a nation of men, pussing at the core, whore to a dictionary definition, stuck in the reflections of phallic philosophy, symbols of a shallow existence, letting her down too often. Coffins filled with too many babies, I'ma do better. She perseveres, carries load on, shoulders numb, through enough European cum to wipe a DNA away, and she endures. Mulatto picnic strapped to one hip, quadroon strapped to the other, octoroon against her back, all wailing mother, waiting for the blue eyes, occupying her breast to feed so they can suckle too. She, female by choice, voice stifled by tradition, fighting through the contradictions of men who create nations.
Beautiful.
That's it for me. Thanks for me, sis. That's it for me. That's it for me.
All right.
Can I sneak in some haikus? Some haikus?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we have
Cool.
time.
just because yeah, still celebrating woman. Four mango haikus. A haiku is just my short poem. Haiku 1. My mango woman, juicy from the center out, sticky on my chin. 2. Ripened on the vine, sunshine bouncing off your skin, can't wait to eat you. 3. Peel you with my teeth, one slow mouthful at a time, thing nothing no less. 4. Sometimes one mango ain't enough to quench the want, quell the taste for you. Yeah, give thanks.
I love the mango haikus. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you guys a lot.
Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us.
I enjoyed.
And you said, were any of the poems tonight from your new book?
All of them were from Feuilleton.
They're from that.
All of them are from Feuilleton Heavy Like a 56. You could still get it on Amazon. And please pick it up. It's nice.
Yes, it is, and I can say that firsthand. I love your book, and
you think?
I can definitely
Starry, what's up?
really recommend it.
Starry, what's up? I came on just as you were rocking. I miss your vibes. It's good to see you, and love to everybody, Sister Dara, everybody else on here. Plenty love to all of you. I look forward to seeing you in the flesh sooner than later.
Okay, and actually, we have a question for you. They say, what does the 56 represent in the title of your book?
56. So during in the time after slavery in Antigua, it was called, I'm sure it was called the same in the Caribbean. It was called shooting hard labor as opposed to sharecropping here in America. And in that time, the plows that they pushed to prepare the land, they all had stamps on them. So the heaviest stamp had the number 56 on it. So I'm doing a research, putting my family history together. So I get to my great grandmother's generation, and I was talking to an elder, and they told me that the thing he remembered as a boy about my great grandmother, Rosamond Guy, who they call Razzie Guy, was that she used to always be saying that. And so of course I'm saying what that means. He explains the story. So what she would say is, he says, so if somebody from that generation said to you, Jamaica, gal, for your tongue heavy like a 56. That means you got a lot of heavy shit to say. And I was putting the book together at the time. I was like, what a perfect title for a book. So 56 is the weight of the plow, which was the heaviest plow to push. Yes.
Wow.
Cool.
Wonderful. Good thanks for sharing.
Cool.
And thanks, Dara, for asking the question.
Yes, it's
All right. Well, if anyone of the poets that are here still, if you guys want to share another poem, we do have time. If anyone else wants to share something else, or it doesn't have to be a poem, it could be anything, let me know. Otherwise, if everyone's good, then we can wrap up the evening and.
Well, Jamaica, I would share something then if there's a little time there.
Yes.
Because I'm so grateful that you're doing this. It is so needed. I did read the article that the Source posted about this, and congratulations to Rhyme and Lime for the full year. It's hard to keep some of these things going, but once it gets going, people get so much from it. So I'll continue to share it and push it as much as I can too, because I know it's a healing space for many.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And I'm not sure when you were at UVI if you had Doug Iannucci as a professor at any point.
Sorry, so who was it?
Doug Iannucci?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, he was another who used to share poetry at the Rock Lounge as well as his comic strips. He's a mathematician and he recently transitioned. So we're going to be, I'll share it with you, but we're going to be doing a special session gathering just for him. It's been a long time for us over on St. Thomas, but we're going to do something for him on the second Friday of next month. So
second Friday of next month.
I'll
Okay,
share
so yeah,
that
I'll
with
look
you.
out for it on Facebook, and yeah, definitely sounds like something all of us might want to attend.
Sure, and I appreciate everyone's poetry, Starry, Iyabo, Thomas Lynch, David, and Jamaica, of course, yours. Very, very meaningful. And I did catch Pamela's and Kayden's also. So thank you all, and I encourage us all to continue.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining us, and I really appreciate all your poetry and support the past year, and look forward to next month, last Saturday of November. So it'll be near Thanksgiving and the holidays. So hopefully everyone can fit some poetry into their month. So thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. I don't know how the clouds are looking, but I know the full moon was looking very full and bright last night, and it might be beautiful to take a look at tonight.
Thanks, Jamaica.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Love you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Mandingo.